Among the most critical elements of success on the carnivore diet is finding the right balance between fat and protein. These are the two pillars of carnivore, the only macronutrients truly essential for life. Protein builds muscle, repairs tissue, fuels the immune system, and supplies the raw materials for hormones and neurotransmitters. Fat provides energy, constructs cell membranes, stabilizes hormones, and supports the brain. The balance between them determines whether someone thrives, heals, or stalls. When protein dominates without sufficient fat, the body is forced to convert excess amino acids into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. While this process is natural, an overload can elevate insulin, prevent deep fat adaptation, and leave a person fatigued, irritable, or constantly hungry. On the other hand, when fat is consumed in abundance with too little protein, the body may lack the building blocks needed to maintain lean mass, repair tissues, or sustain a resilient immune system. Here is a breakdown of 3 standard fat-to-protein ratios, resulting in different outcomes. For individuals suffering from advanced metabolic illness, severe insulin resistance, long-standing type 2 diabetes, epilepsy, or even neurodegenerative disease, a fat-dominant approach, often close to 80% of calories from fat and 20% from protein, proves profoundly therapeutic. This ratio drives the body into a state of deep ketosis, where ketones replace glucose as the primary fuel. Clinical studies of ketogenic diets have shown that seizures in epileptic children can be reduced by more than half when fat dominates the diet. Individuals with Alzheimer's disease often show measurable improvements in cognition when ketones become available to a glucose-starved brain. Within carnivore, this fat-dominant state is achieved not through supplements or shakes, but through real food: ribeye steaks, marrow bones, suet, butter, fatty lamb, and egg yolks. The results can be life-changing. Case reports describe insulin-dependent diabetics freeing themselves from medication within months, with their blood sugar normalizing for the first time in decades. For most people, however, the balance lies closer to 70% fat and 30% protein. This middle ground provides ample energy from fat while supplying the protein necessary to preserve muscle, repair tissues, and maintain immune defenses. There are also those who require more protein relative to fat, often athletes, bodybuilders, or people recovering from illness or injury. For them, a 60% fat to 40% protein ratio is appropriate. This ratio ensures a steady supply of amino acids to fuel muscle growth and repair, while still keeping fat high enough to preserve hormonal health and provide stable energy. What makes the carnivore diet remarkable is not a single fixed ratio, but the adaptability of these ratios to individual needs. And when the fat-to-protein ratio is dialed in correctly, the results are not incremental but transformative. HbA1c levels dropping by multiple points, fatty liver disappearing on scans, autoimmune symptoms vanishing, and weight loss occurring without hunger or struggle.